stood on business, now he laying on his back. Yeah. Ask around, I be rapping number facts. Yeah. We the reason all these running track. Oh God. You ain't never stuck, you can't tell me a thing. I got and I'm letting them hang. Keep my mouth closed and that's never gonna change. You get in the jam and go to pointing and blame. I ain't let it slide, I was sharpening aim. Smoking on my brothers, got his love slain. You know it's smoke cause they ain't even take off his chain. Say it's up with me, yo, must do. Want it all, I won't leave a breadcrumb. What I thought I said some. Thought I said some. G block, all we know is.
What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we jump onto the charts on this beautiful August 27th, Wednesday, August 27th, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Adjusting my mic. Also read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer down on the bottom that says, I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Let's hop onto these charts. We got some movement coming into the open here. Chat. Chatty chat. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chuck. Wolf. What's going on? Jess. You guys are sleeping today. We only got a few people across social streaming. I could see it. Everybody sleeping on a Wednesday, or they just had enough of the markets this week. I don't blame you if it's the latter. I got to adjust this overnight low level as we sold off and pushed right back up. Sold off and pushed right back up on this bad boy. Let me just adjust this before we even hop out to the daily. Want to make sure I have my levels in the correct spot. My Asia London low, pre-market low. Let's hop out to the daily, see what we got going on. So, took the L yesterday. Unfortunately, an all day. Finally took it at the close. It was like a 6-hour trade. Ridiculous. But we didn't get the pull down that I was looking for. We kind of just drifted higher and then pumped at the end of the day. We're opening up to the downside here. We didn't really just continue this bullish movement into the overnight session. Opening up with a bearish candle so far. Kind of choppy, consolidating up here. Looking at what we have on the news calendar and just trying to navigate this week, it's definitely been dicey, right? It's been choppy. Monday was straight up hot garbage. Whoa, let me throw that over here. Monday was straight up hot garbage. Today, again, my expectations are going to be low, man. They're really going to be low. No red folder news. We are before a little bit more red folder news, but this week, end of the month, end of summer, this is kind of that classic summer slump, choppy, low volatility, low volume price action that is just kills traders. For me, nothing on Monday and then one L, managing just fine, but I could see it. I could see it across a lot of different traders, sharing, right? When the market's moving, trending, really clean price action, everybody seems to be a genius. Everybody seems to be struggling, when it's choppy. So I'd be cautious today, right? I'm going to go in with low expectations, looking for some good movement, waiting for trades to set up. But if we start to chop, just consolidate, I'm understanding that can absolutely happen. Tomorrow, Thursday, we got some stuff to kick the market into gear. A little bit more on Friday, but we're coming into also, end of the month again, end of summer. September usually does kick things up, but we also have a bank holiday on Monday, U.S. bank holiday. So here we go. Low liquidity and irregular volatility. Even forexfactory.com calls that out. And then coming into next week, we have a whole lot more news, right? We have a whole lot more that also could get the market going. So nothing crazy today. Not looking for anything insane. Not looking to pull anything wild. But patiently wait for our setups and see what we get here. So overnight session. So yeah, we pumped at the close, right into the close here. Power hour, putting new highs in. Choppy overnight session, started to sell off, came back up, tested highs, and then sold off into the open here, this 830 to the downside. put a low in and now have since started to pull right back up here on ES. This is a 7-pack of straight to funded Sim Pro accounts with top 1 futures here on Project X, the Project X platform. You guys want to check them out? Link is pinned in the chat. 50% off and a hell of a giveaway they're running right now. So, yeah, I'm still looking if we yeah, this could do a number of things today. Gun to my head, I think we chop. I just don't think we get a lot out of these markets. I think we get slow, drifty price action back up to the highs, back down to the lows, that kind of choppiness. If we start to sell off, though, we start to come back down towards prior day low, we start to come back down towards the 50s, I think that could get ugly pretty dang quickly. I think we really could see some serious movement to the downside. Kind of continuing what we saw yesterday, maybe a sweep all the way down. If we were going to get a large movement all the way down towards the 6400s, the 390s, that would be a very large movement out of the day. But I could see that happening, right? If we really started to sell off aggressively, kind of continue what we saw in pre-market for this overnight, from the overnight session down into the open. So far, we're not doing that. We're pulling right back up towards VWAP. We start to break highs. Maybe we start to, we push. It would make sense, right? We would be nice on the daily chart. We swept down below lows here. Nice bullish candle close, long way to the downside, and then this one starts to break out. Am I really anticipating that happening today? Not really. So, not too exciting right off the rip. Let's get the two side-by-side charts. Kind of just the theme for this week. I'm off the desk next week. I'm traveling holiday Monday, and then no live streaming for me at all next week. I'll be taking some from the phone trades. Hop in Discord if you want to stay updated on that. But I wish it was this week, because this week's been a whole bunch of nothing. Just really not exciting price action and market structure at all. And I think next week we could probably see some more movement. Again, just coming out of the summer slump that we traditionally go into for August. Hasn't been too bad, honestly. Like June, July, not great, but this last like week to 2 weeks have definitely just been kind of not super fun to trade. Just not a whole lot of opportunity. So anyway, let's see what we get here. Yeah, I'm wondering if we just are gonna if we're gonna retest VWAP here and then come right back down. I'm kind of interested to see where we go from here. I'd really have to see price start to move and start to pick a direction for me to get involved with this. We continually just have this VWAP chop for a long period of time. Yesterday was a good example of just staying on the right side of VWAP and buying dips, or could have been a good example of how that would have worked. That's not what I did yesterday. Interested to see if we retest this and come right back down. But no really trades to frame yet. I'm interested to see what we do around overnight low or back up towards prior day high, overnight high. Start to break out up there. I think we could be in for some bullish movement, but way too early for me to start getting involved. Not looking for anything just yet. Take a look at Bookmap. Yeah, we got orders all the way back up to 6,500s. Could be going to grab that when we have orders to the downside. Pretty heavily down at the 440s, down below price. And yeah, we don't look terribly thin in between there. But nothing crazy stand out like we're stacked super heavy on one side. Pretty flat for CVD from the time that I started it. We're negative 350 right now. Almost completely flat. So not a whole lot. Not a whole lot for me just yet. What is up? Good morning, everybody. JB, what's up? Scott, man. Dang. Sorry to hear that, Scott, man. I'm hoping we cheer you up while you're streaming from coming to you live from West Star Keystone Hospital. Sorry to hear that, brother, man. I hope everything I hope everything turns out all right for you. Start to heal up and get better, man. Made 400 on my plus 500 account. Needed it. Yeah, man, I feel you. Take it easy. I would definitely not be trading. I would be hanging out, having some fun. Maybe you load up the demo account, but I'd be cautious, man. You know, I know I had it demonstrated to me a couple weeks ago. When I'm out of it, out of my element, as far as like, you know, not just being in the same location, but having just other stuff outside my life go on, it can just not go well. Afternoon, Dwayne. What's up? What's going on, everybody from YouTube? What's up, Kick? What's up, X? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, let's see what we start to get here. Just checking a couple charts, checking book map, back up to VWAP. A little bit of an early morning decision, right? If you're aggressive off the open, I think this is a decent spot to either look short right back down towards overnight low, maybe stops up near prior day, looking for that really aggressive short entry if that's the move that you're anticipating today, or a push right through. We really found buyers right off the open. I think we come back down on this. That's just my thought process, at least to get started. Yeah, not too crazy. We definitely got some movement back to VWAP. Not too crazy yet. I'm not going to get involved in this just yet. Again, I think there is a play short here, right? If you say, I'm just eyeballing this. If you say, hey, I think we're likely to continue lower on the day, and I think we're likely to react off of VWAP. This could present a pretty serious short trade right here off of VWAP. Maybe you say, this is all I need to get short. This is my trade structure, right? I'm going to look for a move right back down on this right here, right now. Super tight stop loss. We start to come back above this again. I don't want to be in it. There's definitely a play that way, just following pre-market, back down. I think it's really counter to the overall higher time frame trend, what we've been seeing on the higher time frames. I'm really talked about it yesterday. Talked about getting short yesterday and my win rate for shorts and and longs, and just continuing to to add to that. Unfortunately, long side I just can't seem to miss. Short side I can't seem to hit. So, but I could see that if you were aggressive VWAP trader right off the open, selling off below VWAP, pulling right back up, finding obvious sellers here, right? Putting some volume in, and maybe running into a wall for a move back down. Too aggressive, too early for me. Not what I'm looking for. We got levels up above that I think could be swept. So I'm gonna hang tight on this. I'm really not loving this. Not loving this area that we're at. I think a continuation trade is the only thing that I see in store. Honestly, like, at this point, like I said, gun to my head, I think we chop. But at this point, I'd be long. I'd be long towards the 6,500s, back up towards the all-time highs. Right, we swept down below these lows. Buyers stepped right in here. We got to come lower, like through the 60s. I would be dead wrong, and I think we're coming all the way down on the day. You could trade for that first, maybe. If we sweep these lows and we come back up, I could see a potential long. I think the shorts are in play from up here. If that's your thesis that we're gonna sell off for the day, or at very least come down and take this out, shorting up here would give you a decent way to structure risk. But I'm not gonna dive in head first to just continue shorting this market. Just don't have a good win rate doing it, so I'm gonna hang out today. And it's not a good setup, really. Not really an entry. It's an off of a VWAP setup. I'm going to hang out to see if we come down towards these lows. What happens if we come down to sweep overnight low, right? What happens if we come down to this area? I'm going to say the 60s. I'd be kind of interested. But we could start selling off really aggressively down here as well, man. That's why I'm saying this is interesting. I don't have a beautiful read of this market right now. And I don't mind saying that, right? Try to frame some trade ideas, but there's times on the chart where I don't really have a clean setup. I don't have a beautiful way to structure risk. Don't have a good indication of one thing happening over another. And I try to just sit tight, not do anything stupid. I was listening to an interview, and a person was essentially framing trading as being very simple, very straightforward. And the biggest challenge for retail traders, again, not my words, but they were claiming the biggest challenge for retail traders was to try to survive through the often long periods where the market is not ideal for your strategy, your approach. It's not providing good setups. And you have to take some losses in there because you do have to put your trades on as they come. But to structure risk well enough to survive that drawdown, survive that garbage period, and make it to the win streaks, make it to the times when the market is lining up for your approach and you take back-to-back wins, right? And I think that can be important. It can be important to think in those terms. You want to be ready to execute. You want to be ready to put risk on. But there's going to be a lot of time in the market where the market's not agreeing with you. It's not doing anything that's going to pay you. And you want to limit your downside and be able to make that either prop firm account or live account last without digging a huge hole or losing it for the time, come the next day or the next hour when the market really starts setting up for you. So I think it was a good reminder about staying patient. Right back up to VWAP on this one. Yeah, so again, this could be all we need to do today. Just kind of sweep down, and then now we're going to push right through highs. We kind of had that movement yesterday, right? If we look back, we had this long wick after the open to the downside, and we really just got bought right back up and continue moving to the upside on that. Could be seeing something like that here. We just get it in pre-market. We open up really strong right back to VWAP. Sellers can't take it lower. Buyers get past VWAP, and now we start to move up to the upside. I could see it even towards the 6,500s. Stop down below this level. I would have loved to sweep down. Just not great structure for me. Just not great structure for me personally. But I've had a lot of that this week. Can't really complain, right? Coming off of a hell of a win streak last week. Straight W's. That's how it goes sometimes. So when I don't have anything beautiful, I try to wait, try to stay patient, and balance that with putting risk on. Ooh, there's some volatility. Putting risk on without hesitating, once I see those setups come. So got some gnarly volatility right there. All right, let's see. As we start to sell off really aggressively here, I know you guys are chatting it up. I'll answer some questions. I'll chat with you. But now I was just about to come back over to the chat, but now we got some movement here. We got some movement out of these markets. Let's see. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we got going on, chat. What's happening? Good morning, Zach. Thanks for introducing Top One. Since it started, I've received 5 payouts from them. Damn, Kyrie, killing it, man. I have a question. My last 3 payouts have been averaging 48 to 72 hours processing time. They say new processing time 72 to 98 hours. Hiccup with Rise. That's what's going on. Do you know what's going on? Yeah, that's what's going on. They got backlogged with Rise, some back end issue with Rise, banking issue, and now payouts are taking, unfortunately, like 5 days. I'm gonna say I'm going to say 4 to 5 days, right? So what I'm hearing from most people right now, if you're requesting on like on a Monday, for example, it's getting paid on a Friday. If you're requesting on like a Tuesday, it's getting paid on the following Monday. Hit and rise. From them, most recently, I've heard, should be declining on that time frame very soon. I'm not going to stick my neck out and say it's going to go back to anything what it was or whatever. But they're aware of it. All of the partners and people that are affiliated or involved have obviously voiced their opinion to say, hey, we got to get these payout speeds down. We don't like it. Traders don't like it. Obviously, nobody likes waiting to get paid if you're due a payout. The positive note there is everybody that's due a payout has been paid out. You follow the rules, you make it to a payout, you get paid out. It taking that long, I definitely think is an issue. But it's been that way now for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. When they first launched, it was incredibly fast. But I think they're going to work down towards that 1 day mark, 1 to 2 day mark pretty quickly. I would assume we're going to see that improve over the next 2 weeks, but I'm not going to stick my neck out and say anything that I don't know. So that's the current situation there. YM shooting for the stars. NQ not interested, not going anywhere. Maybe something's trouble with his engine. NQ starting to dump as well. ES stuck between the two. I found that in those times better to wait instead of just risking just for the sake of it. Yep. Morning Biblical, what's up? Looking for 487 and NQ for take profit. Waiting. Yeah, let's see. Oh, it's micros. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so NQ harshly selling off, super harshly selling off comparatively, and YM shot out of a rocket. So, here we go with the U.S. indices continuing to just not line up with each other at all. This was looking similar pre-market. Big movement out of YM. They're looking similar now where they're, continuing to start to, well, actually not really. NQ's catching a little bit of a move back up to the upside. YM starting to sell off. ES stuck near VWAP. So, yeah, I don't use the correlations between the indices. It's just not my play. I don't mind to take a look when everybody else is taking a look and talk about it, but it's not something that I find helpful in my trading. Thank you for addressing payout concern. Yeah, for sure. Again, man, and I always happy to say it. I say it at the beginning. I say it at the end. I say it all the time when I'm talking about anything that I'm partnered with. I'm partnered. I'm affiliated with Top One, right? I can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. It's important for me to be transparent about that and for you to do your own research, make your own decisions, come to your own, conclusions about these things. For me, for what they've communicated from the beginning, they've always been very upfront. Am I stoked on payouts being 96 hours on average approximately right now? No, not at all. Do I think that is too long in general? Yes, I do. Not super stoked on that, right? Do I think there's some other underlying issue that is at store that should be some kind of red flag? No, I don't. I watched them decline. I watched the payout speed go from super duper fast right to that time frame when that rise issue happened that they were talking about. Back end rise, banking issue. And, now they've been trying to get on top of it, but we'll see. So they're aware of it. Again, if I started to see that continue to get longer and longer and longer, or to see people that were due payouts, not like breaking the rules, sim farming, any of the other issues you can have for just rule breaking, not to get paid out, then I would absolutely say, red flag. We got something to talk about. So we'll see. We'll see how they handle it. Hopefully over the next couple weeks, those payout speeds start to increase. That's what they've communicated. I expect that they will, but again, I'm not in control of that. I don't get to see the back end. I don't get to see that stuff firsthand. I can only take them at their word, do my own research, check in with traders that are getting paid out, talk about my own payout speed, which was that long, right? I think it was a request on just most recently, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, request on a Wednesday, paid on a Tuesday, so to rise. So yeah, that's the thought process. Only other comment I'll make is, or just for now, is if you are getting ready to do a payout, you think you're going to make it to a payout, you want to get ready for it, get Rise set up. Get Rise set up ahead of time and have a bank account linked to Rise. Not just getting approved and everything set on Rise, but link a bank account to withdraw to and have that verified on Rise as well. If you haven't used Rise before, that's important. This way, they don't pay you, everything's good, and then you go, oh, wait, I got to connect a bank account and then withdraw. I can't remember what I did. I had changed a bank account. I did something with a bank account, and Rise took forever themselves. Super long time to verify the bank account. Mad annoying, but, part of it. For me, I think the industry standard has just been raised, man. I wasn't trading Top Step for forever, but looking over like a year plus ago, Top Step was, always 3 to 4 days. That was pretty much the average. No one really ever batted an eye at that. And in favor of the trader, everything got faster and faster, all the way up to a couple hours, like immediately getting paid out, which I think is great. So the bar got raised by everybody. Top One definitely met that at the beginning, and hopefully is going to work towards getting back to that. But I think the last Top Step payouts that I've been requesting this year were still a few days. But I'm a favor of getting paid out as fast as you possibly can, right? I'm not worried about it. Like for me, I'm never really worried about it so long as, everybody's actually getting paid out. But I think faster is better. I'm watching this. I'm staring at the chart as I'm talking to you guys because I'm watching this for a long, man. I'm starting to eyeball this for a long. We tried to sell off here twice. Dips got bought right back up. Not a bad opportunity to play this to the long side here. It's not beautiful. It's chopping at VWAP. It's nothing insane, but I could see a movement to the upside on this bad boy potentially playing out before we move lower. We swept all the lows out of this area consolidation for the morning. Here's the trade setup, right? Swept this lows, dipped down. We did it in pre-market. I like to see this after the open. I really like to see this after the open, but we didn't today. We pushed up to VWAP. We tried to sell off, pushed back up to VWAP. Now it looks like we want to run through. We don't have a super duper strong CVD. It's pretty flat. No news for the day, so I'm not really expecting anything too crazy. The downside of getting involved here is I'd have to run a stop loss, outside of this, and that could get tagged if we just start to chop. I would really be playing for a move directly through this to the upside, which I think we could get back towards like the 6,500 level, right? Go and start to push this candle to the upside, start to form a nice bullish candle on this. It's the only thing I see setting up here. It's a little bit early for it, but that's what I'm considering here, guys. That's what I'm considering. Something like $750 worth of risk. And if we just start to sell off, I'm dead wrong. I'm tempted to wait. I'm tempted to wait for a sweep of this low. We're fighting this area here, trying to get back above the 6480s, but definitely a point of contention here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna forego this. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on this, guys. There's a valid long here for me. It's a back through VWAP long. It's a continuation play. It's in the direction that I'm trying to trade with the overall time frame. It's not a from the extreme reversion back to VWAP trade. Obviously, right? It puts me in a spot where I'm getting involved at VWAP. Late to the party. I don't like it. I don't like it enough for 3 reasons. One, I don't know that we just break these highs and we start to run towards, the weekly high and all-time highs. It's just, I feel like it's expecting a lot out of this market that's just not been doing a whole lot. Reason number 2, we didn't sweep overnight low. We didn't come down during the session, right? We pushed off right at the open. We didn't come down during the session, sweep lows, take out some liquidity to the downside, and then push to the upside. That's the really nice move that I like to get involved, on a continuation to the upside. And 3, I really don't have anything supporting this on Bookmap. We have almost a flat CVD. It's positive 500. That, we don't have a super strong growing CVD here. It's growing a little bit, but I don't have huge levels above to shoot towards. I think we start to break this and start grinding the upside towards the 6500s, but it's just none of the tools that I use and my discernment of this price action lines up to say like this is a really good indication to jump into a trade here. You have a great way to structure risk, so I'm just gonna hang. I'd rather watch it go and not be in than watch it come right down to sweep overnight low aggressively and go, yeah, there's our session sweep of lows, right? So I think I'm gonna do nothing is the comment there. That's me just reassessing. If I had to do anything, it would be long with a stop below the 70s. If I had to do anything, that's my play. Long through VWAP with a stop down here. I could absolutely be a retest of VWAP for a short. Whoa. But we had sellers try to take a lower multiple times. Now we're starting to push to the upside. You can get long with a stop right below this level, and you say, if we come back down again, I'm dead wrong. And that's all I want to risk on it. I think we're going to push to the upside, but that's, that would be the play, but it's just not a clean setup for me. It's not something that gives me a good way to structure risk, where if I'm wrong, I'm dead wrong, which I like to be. So hanging tight with you guys. It's early. It's only 10 o'clock. We got time. Got time to trade. Row hit is getting long. Nice. Scott, let's go. Locked in before the charts. Hoping NQ breaks 5:39. I thought you were short. We got long now. ES the season around VWAP. NQ now wants to go up. YN coming down. Raj, what's up? Team Bear will be back with a bang. Loading 2.0 version. Scott low, no short YM. Pre-market. Turn around. Gotcha. Here we go. Buyers trying to take it higher. Cracking the 80s. A little concerning to see the Bears losing power. They've been fighting so hard these last weeks, months. Now they're getting slow and weak. I guess just the end of the summer. These months have just gotten a little more slow. Yeah. End of summer, man. I mean, usually we get it. I would say like the way the market's moved as a whole has been pretty difficult to work with, but I wouldn't say it was just insanely terrible just for summer. But usually what happens is we get the summer slowdown, summer slump, right? It's called a bunch of different things. Lower volume, lower volatility, smaller movements, choppier, rangier price action becomes more, of the standard. And then into fall, right? And back towards winter and then through spring, we get a lot of that volatility come back. So it is a little bit of a time to adapt. It can be a little bit difficult to do. But I would definitely expect coming into next week, which is why I said I wish I was traveling this week and not next week, but that's just the way it goes. Coming into September, right? I think we could see some volatility start to pick up for sure. We do have an interesting week next week. We got bank holiday on Monday. Markets closed. Is everything closed on Monday? Let's see. I think everything is closed. Stock market's closed. Bond market's closed. Is the bond market closed? Yeah, stock and bond markets are closed all day. The futures market is open with an early close on Labor Day. So technically you get some trading in on Monday if you wanted to. I think that days on the U.S. indices and the futures market where the stock market as a whole is closed and the bond market and it's a major U.S. holiday, not a good day to trade at all. I think you're kind of just pressing it at that point. But that's what we got going on. So that's next Monday, or this coming Monday. Today's Wednesday. Let's see. I mean, the 5-minute chart before and after these mirror candles look bullish, but the slowness is make me think twice on a good entry. Yeah. Again, like I said, long in here through VWAP. If I had to take something, just following this structure for the day, but not really clean for all the reasons that we described. Not getting the sweep of lows. A pullback down and then aggressive buying during the session that I like to really see. We did erase this right off the bat, and I could see us just pushing through the highs, maybe right through this. But also not a whole lot of help out of Bookmap with really clean levels to trade towards and a nice, strong, growing CVD. We are increasing here, so it doesn't look terrible. But again, keeping myself out. I'll hang tight and live to fight another day. That's my game plan. Now I can follow along and chill. Don't have to tap one from my phone, so no chance of breach. I do have a little old plus 500 for the real money and then Ninja Demo to play with. Nice, Scott. Yeah. Again, we all have to make those decisions, right? Those trading decisions. If we are out of our element or we're dealing with something outside of our outside life, whether we want to, put risk on and trade or just call it a no trade day. Here we go. Coming through VWAP, pushing the upside. Bulls are taking this thing higher, at least for now. Let's see what we get out of this market, chat. Let's see what we get. Morning, David. What's going on? Morning, guys on Kick. What's happening? What's happening, guys on X? I can't ever read anything that you say. But if you want to hop over to Kick or YouTube, we can chat and hang out. You also get lower latency. Let's see. Yeah, slow moving, choppy upside movement. Nothing too crazy on this just yet. Hanging tight. Hanging tight. Yeah, slow grind to the upside now, man. Continuation play maybe would have played nicely with us, but let's see. What do you guys think, chat? This market's been interesting. Let's throw the poll in chat. Let's throw the poll in chat. We're gonna say, you think we're going to yes, up or down? You think we're going to see 65? I'm going to say 6,500. I want to know. You guys think we're going to clear 6,500? Let's say all-time highs, 6,500 all-time highs, or you think we are headed south? You think we're actually going to sell off on this and head back towards the 6450s? I think chop. I honestly think choppy, man. That's what this feels like. More of the same, which is what we've got this week. Talked about that at the open, right? Talked about let's go back to our financial news site, right? preferred financial news site for me, forexfactory.com. Not affiliated or partnered with them. I've just been looking at it for forever. Financial Juice is probably even a better one. I've seen they have more detailed information and breaking news and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But we don't have a whole lot today. We got a whole lot of nothing. We got crude oil coming up in 20 minutes. I don't think that's going to do too much. We got some news to kick us off tomorrow morning, and then some FOMC members speaking, pending new home sales. That could get some movement rolling a little bit more later in the week, but like nothing crazy. And then we got a lot of news next week, right? We got unemployment and NFP, right? We got an NFP Friday coming up next week. So I think the read on Monday was really good to stay out. For me yesterday, I'm taking this trade for sure every day. Like, I like that one. I was just wrong, just dead wrong on it, right? I got short somewhere in here, looking for a continuation lower, coming back down towards prior day low, going to sweep lows. We just slowly grinded to the upside, right? I was looking at either, I think, the 64.70, 64.75, which is where my stop was, being hit, or coming all the way back down to the 6400s, right? What did we do? Moved up to that key area, right? And then, pushed through it pretty aggressively. But not a bad one. Monday, Monday definitely not it. Today, bullish price action off the open, really just kind of slowly grinding. Like, what did we get so far? If I look at this pretty objectively, sorry, I'm just resetting my charts here. I try not to click back and forth once I actually set them. Here's our 930 candle right here. We got a push right off of the open. Just a clean push right off of the open, right? Like I said, what would have got me into this long, like somewhere in here as we start to come through VWAP? Had we done this, swept overnight low, and then came back up, that gets me in long. That definitely gets me in long. End or combination, bookmap, giving me a little bit more indication that we were getting ready to start to push long. This, like off the open, flat flat CVD. Excuse me, I was saying VWAP. CVD, cumulative volume delta, not really helping too much. Nothing crazy standout, like a bunch of levels above price that I think we're going to go hit, and then nothing down below. We kind of got an even split. We're not terribly thick or thin one way or the other. There's not a whole lot past the 6500s, I'll tell you that. And there is a nice stack down here at the 6440s. Maybe a short play, but I've really been trying to review my data and be objective. Like what's coming for me on this is a short play, is a short setup, a sweep of prior day high, overnight high, stop on the outside of a key level all the way up here. That's really wide, actually, now that I'm looking at it, 6500s. But I really would like to find a way to stop shorting this market. The setups are valid, they're there, but we have just higher time frame trend pushing through. And I try to be objective. You guys can watch it play out day over day, week over week. That's the beauty of live trading here. I've caught some shorts last week, can't complain. But overall, if I go back through, which I have, and look, my shorts versus longs, first off, I'm carrying weight. I take more shorts than longs. I shouldn't be in this market. And my win rate is abysmal on shorts, and it's fantastic on longs. And obviously, that's relative to the higher time frame trend pushing through. And that higher time frame trend won't last forever. And eventually, we're going to start, selling off at a certain point. We'll see some kind of correction, or at least just a downturn, some bearish days. So you don't want to say longs only because I've been winning on longs and losing on shorts. So now I'm only going to take longs. That's hindsight bias. But overall, my data shows me that, at least for the sample size that I'm looking at, had I backed off the shorts and put my foot on the gas on the longs, the P&L would thank me for it. So I try to be cautious and be a little bit more tactical, a little bit more disciplined, where I say I got a really clean short setup here. I'm not just shorting a slow grind uptrend market here, right? I got a nice clean test of a level. I got levels down below that I believe can go and get hit. You know, I can reasonably believe I'm going to get a good risk reward out of this. You know, so that's all of the reasons to be cautious for a short. As I'm telling you that I got a short setup coming that I'm going to have to take. I'm going to have to take. The not so great. Also, the algos on this, man. This is weird. These have been gone. This algorithmic liquidity provider BS, this has been off before pre-market every day, before market open every day. And it's the first time in a long time that I've seen this on here. First time in a long time. Interesting. Really interesting. You can see this on any DOM. But what do I don't like about a potential short from up here? This. I really don't like this. That's too far of a way away for me to get a stop loss on the outside of it, at least from all the way down here. I could. Let's see what happens as we go to crack towards these this overnight high level. Could see it for a potential short back down around VWAP, back down around this area of high volume. Cheap trade as far as a clean way to structure risk. There's no price action looking left until we get back over to prior week high and then all-time highs over here. Yeah, I'd have to be taking this one on a sweep of prior week high. I wouldn't take it down here. Prior week high, I would look to short this. Stop loss on the outside of the 6500s. But there's the long play playing out. Stop down below here somewhere. Would be getting paid. I don't mind this because I could see us chopping today, and trading from the extremes in a choppy market is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Let's see. You guys are all bullish. 80% saying 6,500s to all-time highs on ES. Nice. Careful, Sam Warren on. Okay, we got somebody. Dow's ripping for Trump, or you're fired. I'm not. No, not right now. I'm in longs. Don't feed the bears yet. Could NQ just be late to the party? Maybe. Choporama. Yeah, choppy. Slow grind to the upside, though. Kind of like what we saw yesterday. Scott having fun on the ninja competition. Nice. And Biblical says NQ going to 23,607. Let's see. I'm trying to. You guys were all talking about NASDAQ. Okay, nice. We've got a target out of Biblical. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Sorry, VWAP in the wrong spot. Yeah, hell of a correction out of NQ. So I had two pre-market trades on this, and without looking, I can tell you right now, one is a full L, and one is going to be a W. I had two pre-market longs on this. They were both limit buy orders. I will say I fat-fingered one on accident first. It was on NQ instead of MNQ. But I had two limit buy orders on MNQ, and I could tell the first one got stopped because it was closer to, it was just too close. Definitely would have gotten tagged and stopped. Second one's is definitely going to be a winner. Definitely be a winner. I can share that once we hop off of trading ES. But taking a look at these two, yeah, serious reversion here out of NQ. Looking at YM. Bullish moving, and then back to VWAP. Oh, that's not where VWAP is. Back to VWAP, and then kind of choppy. Again, I think using different markets. There we go for ES, pushing the upside. I don't know that I want to short this, guys. Prior week high, I'll short it. That's going to be it. This is too bullish. Way too strong. Back through VWAP would have paid today. Back through VWAP would have paid today. Maybe prior week high. But this is looking strong. Bulls in town. I could see a short off of prior week high. Key level that we often find some sellers at. Let's see. Yep, still increasing on cumulative volume delta now. It's just slow grind, kind of like price action. It wasn't a huge jump. We did get a nice uptick there over these last couple candles. Obviously, we got some volume that came in. Pushing this bad boy higher. Are we going to turn this just into a run for the highs? I don't know. I don't know, chat. I don't know. I think might have to be the only idiot again hitting the short button before I take it off my computer. Sorry, I know I'm twitchy with my charts here, but you know, the higher time frame has been pushing through so much to the lower time frame, or at least that's the way that I can articulate how I'm thinking about it. So it's really been helping me to look at the 15-minute chart, really zoomed out and not get so hyper focused on the 1 minute. It's just the matter of what you can see and not see trading from one screen here as I'm sharing my chart fully with you guys. You know, if I wasn't doing this, maybe I'd have multiple screens loaded up with different time frames. So I apologize for being kind of twitchy and zooming in and out 1,000 times. But I was trying to get a view of that higher time frame 15 minute to see what the price action looks like looking left for prior week high. But yeah, there's the long that would have paid through VWAP on this one. But I'm liking this short. Call me crazy, chat. You guys remained hella bullish looking for 6,500. Just above overnight high, we're going to get it? Staying patient on this, guys. Waiting for I mean, if we just reverse on a dime right here, above overnight high would have been the play. Whoa, bookmap, what are we doing? Still no trade, still staying patient. If you hopped on, was debating along through VWAP, right? Eyeballed that one, talked about it a couple times. Actively said, gonna keep myself out. Market's just been so dang choppy, getting involved in the middle of VWAP and not getting a sweep of lows during the session. Today we did get it right in pre-market. Not exactly what I want to see for a long. Let's take a look here. No news grinder. I don't like the action. Yep, I feel that. Just passed another eval top one. Nice on that move. Target hit. Nice. Biblical taking evals on top one. Sweet, man. You end up with a nice wide consistency rule, 25% instead of 20, which is pretty sweet. Plus, they're like stupid cheap. Crazy. I had to take a walk with... oh, by the way, everybody's waiting for NVIDIA earnings after the bell. There you go. Yep, that's a key, another key thing. I usually don't talk about earnings too much because, again, it just gets more and more into the fundamental side. But earnings later this week, especially on stuff like NVIDIA, that's definitely going to play a big role. On NQ, went right to Asia, and Asia open and rejected. There you go. Morning, Ralph. What's up, man? Just got here. Kids are sick today. Sorry to hear that, Ralph. Appreciate you hopping on, brother. The only thing I have on this, guys, is a short. Back down towards VWAP, a reversion style trade. I would love to see a little bit more indication that we're going to actually turn to the downside. Like, there's quite a bit of liquidity at the 92s, like right around this high. If we tap this again and start to come back down, I'm going to consider it. I'm going to consider running one. I don't know that bulls just rip everybody's face off and we just blast through all-time highs today. So I'm going to consider it. I'm going to consider it short. Again, wide stop loss, wide take profit. Right, wide stop loss, no take profit. The way that I've been running these, one ES. Start to frame this one. If I get short somewhere in here, that's 20 points is $1,000 on one contract. 10 points is 500. I would definitely want to be outside of the 6,500 level. This is a key level. If we come up above prior week high, I think we're tapping that. And unless we go break all-time highs, that could be a spot that we find sellers. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to see if we go and fill these orders right above here, the 92.5s, the 95s, or if we're just going to turn right back down from here, start to flatten out a little bit. I'm going to wait for another wick up before I try a silly aggressive short. Just checking the other markets out. Yeah, NQ, huge reversion. Yep. Wow. 475 ticks off the low. Almost 120 points off the low of the session. Aggressive turnaround. That's pretty heavy. Sold all the way off down. Not through like session lows of yesterday, but then turned all the way back up. That's a nice aggressive move out of NQ. ES similar, not nearly as aggressive. YM popped, didn't do any of that. YM popped to the open and now is just kind of chopping up near highs, maybe starting to sell back off. Gonna have initial balance coming up here. We're gonna be setting that as we're pretty close to the top end of it. So came up through prior day high, broke overnight high. Starting to reject here. The problem with this, I'm finding problems with everything, man. Problem with this is I'd have to structure it wide, man. I can't have a stop in here. I definitely can't have a stop in here. I think that's silly. This would be a wide play for a reversion, and I don't know if we get that type of price action, or this could just do this crap all day. This is what we could be in for. Just kind of slow grind higher, back up towards the 6,500s. If not, I like it for a choppy day, a back and forth. We come back in, test VWAP, chop down around these lows, go sweep overnight low, which is what I'm going to trade for. I'm going to trade for and move back in. Waiting for a setup. We got quite a bit of liquidity right above price here that I'd like to see taken. Get myself a better entry if I'm going to get short. I'd like to do it after we sweep some orders here. 492 and a halves, 495s. We don't have to. Definitely don't have to. In which case, I would just be waiting patient for my actual pull the trigger setup to jump in short. But I would not get it. So let's see. And then again, guys, I'm going to run this one wide. This is not going to be a little trade. This is going to be wide like yesterday. There we go. Let's see. Could be a really aggressive move to prior week high and the 6,500s. I got to see what happens through here. Like what I would like to see is a wick up here really aggressively, and then sellers start to step right back in. Interesting, guys. Interesting. We got 1032. We got IB high put in right up here. A little bit of a pullback here. Let's see what we get up above these highs if we go climb up above these highs. Here we go. Let's see what we get up here now. Let's see what this looks like as we start to take out some more orders to the upside. Breaking IB high. Yeah, we got a little more right up here. We could see a really aggressive pop out of this. Could see a really aggressive pop out of this. I'm waiting to see what happens up here. Maybe prior week high. Are they going to hold this up? Some sellers stepping in here. Interesting. We're going to lift this and go crack towards the 95s. We're going to turn right here. Market, what do you got for me today, man? What do you got for me, ES? What's the play here? Slow grind to the upside or choppy back and forth reversion? Yeah, we left a whole bunch up here. Maybe sellers defend this, but I wanted to see the wick up really right above this level. 64.92 and a half got filled. We had quite a bit right at the 64.93s that did not get filled. We got CVD starting to drop off a little bit. Sellers starting to step back in here. Is this going to start to be a turn, or are we just going to sweep a little bit down and then come right back up? I'm not going to get short with all this liquidity sitting right here. I don't want to get short until that was filled. If this was filled and then we started to come back down looking at Bookmap, I wouldn't mind this, but here I am. Just going to be sitting patient, waiting for my setup to come. And if I don't get what I need on the chart, I don't hit the buy or sell button. And sometimes that's going to mean no trade. I know I got quiet there, guys, because we're getting close. What I would have liked to have seen out of Bookmap was this level fill right into the 64.93s right here, right? We got the 6500s, right, up above prior week high. But if we kind of filled out up here, we got rid of some of this algo stuff, already came off. We filled out some of this liquidity and then started to sell off, dropping CVD. I wouldn't mind this. This is a little bit dicier getting short right below that. But it does look like that we are starting to find some sellers up here. Back to VWAP move? I don't know. Or we're just taking a break before we just continue the upside and blast off and just continue doing what we were doing. Chat, what do you guys think? Scott talking about what you got going on, man. I was on a 6-day win streak with Top 1 Futures. Chop me up, man. I feel that. The health stuff is tough, man. I'm sorry to hear it, man. I hope you start feeling better. Stay away from gluten, dairy, sugar. Nice. Up 400 on the real dollar account. Very nice. I love that you guys all know each other in my chat. Community strong, man. If you guys are not in the free community as well, if you're on here just watching, hanging out, not talking in chat, if you want to hop in the 100% free trading Discord community, there it is right there. There it is right there. Not a VIP feeder program, no course, no BS, nothing paid. I trade live here free every dang day, and I run that Discord. What are we going to do up here, man? What are we going to do? We're going to pop right through this? I'm going to look to short a pop, guys. That's my play. Buy the dip, short the pop. No, we started to drop off on CVD. If we turn right here, it's not my setup. I want to see this thing pop towards the 95s, honestly, towards prior week high to just grab the last bit of sell orders up here and then turn to the downside. We definitely started to consolidate. Bulls had a nice run here. We had strength coming right into this level, 64.90s, and now we've chopped here for the last 25 minutes almost, 25 minutes, where we look like we want to find sell orders and come back down. If we do, we do. It's not my setup, unfortunately. I need to see this taken out first. But it looks like we want to drop off. Looks like we want to drop off on CVD and start to come lower. Interesting. Yeah, Scott says yes, short. Yeah, could be, could easily be the reload before the move to the upside, right? That could definitely be in store for today. We could be seeing a reload before the move up, but I like this for the choppy movement back and forth today. Let's see. All right, this thing's gonna chop for a minute. I'll be right back, guys. Grab some water. Oh man, these markets, guys. These markets. There's our knife lower. Yep. Yeah, this one's going to be chalked up to two really good reads. We'll see if this continues down. I think it's likely to. Here comes the cliff. This is going to be chalked up to two really good reads of the market. close, very close to setups, but just not what I need personally, even applying some discretion to get into the market. I liked it long down here. Right? Liking it and actually hitting the button doesn't, is the difference. But I liked it long down here for sure. Following higher time frame structure, buyers taking it higher, sellers failing to just be able to bring price back down, back to VWAP, hammering into VWAP multiple times. A reason to not jump into this one, selling pressure right into the open, and then just an immediate push back up to VWAP with no real attempt to sweep lows or come down and grab liquidity down around overnight low, right? That would have paid. Right. Also, just not a whole lot on CVD or Bookmap to really say, hey, get into this one. So went no trade. That's one that would have paid. Up here, wanted this short, still want it short, not nearly as much now that we started to sell off. Wanted this short, didn't get this last level. I was going to take it below prior week low, like I talked about, below the 6,500. Stop loss way outside of here, which is why I was measuring it out multiple times. But leaving 350, 400 on the book right up here at the 6,300s, not it for me, kids. I got to see that filled. CVD start to drop off the way that it did. Price action start to come back down maybe a little bit, and I like that short, So I'm no trade for now. I'm no trade. We'll see if this comes right back up and blasts through highs. We'll see if this sells off. I got a feeling this turns into the crazy, frustrating, choppy day where it looks really, really nice off the open, and then here we come back down in and we trade all the way back down below lows or something, or we just come back and chop around VWAP. This is just part of being patient, knowing what your setup really looks like, waiting for, everything you need on the chart, right, without hesitating to line up, and then throw your trade on, which, is what I wait for. And if it's not lining up for you, it's not there, it's close, but you're trying to say, let me find out if I could, get it done. Those are usually the trades that don't do well. Those are the trades that I take L's on, where I'm like, yeah, I could kind of find it. I could lie myself into a trade here. But yeah, I think this comes back down. I think this comes back down and chops around, which is why I wanted this thing short. But it didn't give it to me. Colby, what's up? Just here watching, caught a nice $1,900 buy on NASDAQ correction. Beautiful, man. Very beautiful. Big earnings, so range day most likely. Yeah, there we go. Totally lost. I'm thinking it was Tuesday. Oh, shoot. Overall on long. Nice. Darn. Well, moved my stop loss 2 fees at least. Long since 64.85. Just hoping to close a good trade this week since it's been slow. Yeah, this week's been hella slow. It's Wednesday. Here's the thing. It's Wednesday. An hour and, over an hour into my morning session, and I put like one serious trade on yesterday. It's just, but go back and watch Monday, go watch the price action from yesterday. I think, again, trying to just stay alive and stay patient enough to survive when the market's really not setting up for you is the key. So you can really put risk on when things start to move. And I do think, and sometimes it can be hard to adapt to, right? I do think the market will start to move. We will start to get more trending and just aggressive volatility, right? We're going to start to get larger movements out of the market. We traditionally do as we come out of the summer slump, right? As everybody kind of wakes themselves back up from hanging out on the beach drinking margaritas. But we'll see. We will see. End of, like we talked about at the beginning of this week, and like we talked about beginning of today, right? End of August, coming into the end of summer, ahead of a holiday week, not a lot of news at all. No news today. Not even orange folder. Nothing. Earnings, like multiple people pointed out in the chat, earnings later, right? And then a larger news week coming into a new month could all indicate choppy back and forth, rangy, low volume price action. Does it have to? Absolutely not. Sometimes I'll be watching on a holiday. I won't be trading, but I'll have some alerts set. We'll just have a huge, gnarly push off, massive trend day on a holiday, like out of nowhere, right? The market can do whatever it wants, But I think having that context can be helpful, right? Not forming a bias, not saying, okay, no news Monday, I only trade ranges. And then Tuesday when there's news, I only trade for big extensions. I don't think being that like fixed with it is helpful, but having some context, right? So you can just create, reasonable expectations, or at least control your expectations is helpful. So let's see. Pulled back down, tested prior day high, snapped right back up. I think we come back in, guys. Maybe we pop through this level that I was looking at to the upside here. Maybe. But I think we just turn this into a chop fest. And we piss everybody off that got long here and held. Is really what I think we do here. But I'm going to hang out with you guys for a little bit longer. I'm going to watch this. I'm gonna go for a little bit longer today. I'd like to find a trade. I'd like to put risk on, take a win, take a loss, do something. But I'd like to do something smart. And if there's nothing here for me to do smart, I'm gonna try to not do something stupid. It can be simplified to that, right? Try not to do anything stupid. Wow, Zach, you're pretty popular for big commercials. Good morning. Oh, man. Scott, thanks for letting me know. Let's see if we can turn ads off again. Well, since they're running commercials, I'm going to have to run my own commercial. Get ready, guys. Top One Futures is running a $1 million giveaway. I've been yapping about this all week. I'm going to keep yapping about it. 40 accounts up for grabs. You guys know I love giveaways. I do a lot of duck races. I haven't been doing a lot of duck races this week. We got a big opportunity at a Top One Futures. You can win one of 40 25K instant funded accounts. These are purchase required. Every purchase gets you an entry to win. More purchases, more entries. Every purchase using code RDF of any account. Challenge, instant funded, straight to funded pro. 50% off with code RDF. Better than the email, better than the Discord, better than the website, better than anywhere. Also gets you an entry to win one of 40 25K instant funded. If you guys want to check it out, link is pinned in the top of the chat. Feel free to check that one out. As always, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated. Do your own research, make your own decisions. That is important to note. So there we go. Scott, man, it's funny. Let's see, we dip down, pushing right back up on this for now on a low, on a pretty declining CVD. I like this short. Guys. Call me crazy. I'm gonna take this if we can fill these orders at the 64.93s. Nothing crazy, moderate risk. Short one contract ES. That's what I'm waiting for. We got liquidity up here in ES. I'd like to see this filled. We came up into it. We're returning back to it. I think it's unlikely that we just drop off from this. If we get above it, there's a chance that we run, right? If buyers have strength to fill this and we go and pop this level, there's definitely a chance that we run. So if we get close again, I might take it. 6500s are another area potential problem. I would go stop loss above that. I'd be jumping in down below prior week high unless we just ran right away. I'd be jumping in below prior week high, which is another key level down here into the 96s. What is it? 64, 96 and a quarter. But I'd have a stop outside of the 6500s. Nah, they died up here, man. I don't know that we even fill this. We kind of started to die out. I don't know if buyers will have strength to do anything up here. Let's see. Gonna give it a little bit longer. If we turn down really aggressively on this, I'm gonna short into that. We even got some pulled. Some got pulled that was up above at the 96s. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. We're going to make a run at it. Let's see. Making a run at it. Let's see what happens right here. We run into a wall at this high. Or we pop this and maybe crack right towards the 95s really aggressively. In which case... we're going to run into a wall and not be able to do it? I think we are.
Order filled.
I'm getting short on this, guys. I'm taking it from here. We might leave this up here. Here's my game plan. Short one from 64.91, and this is going to be a probably another long one unless we just start to blast off here or turn super aggressively to the downside. So it's coming towards the end of the session. We're probably not going to let this one play out on the live session, but you guys will know because I'm going to frame the trade same way I did yesterday. I'm short one from 64.91 and a half. I'm going to end it with it running. I'm going to go stop. Like I said, stop on the outside of the 6,500s. Just taking a look at Bookmap as well for this one. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm obviously dead wrong if we come way up here. But I think we got room to come back down and piss everybody off and chop. And, you know, I'm easily going to grab a 1-to-1 if we come back down below VWAP. Down into this area. Not going to run a fixed take profit down there just yet. Eyeballing a position for stop loss. It's going to be up around that 65.05. Could go way outside of all of this, right? Go way above these highs. I'm going to go outside of this action right here. 6,500s, key level, round psychological number. We tested that. I'm going to go on the outside of that right here. Let's say $687 worth of risk on these three accounts. That's my play, guys. That's my play. We'll see how that one does for me. Again, short, it's aggressive. It's counter to really the immediate price action here. But that's my only setup. Do not have a long continuation on this. I don't have any opportunity for really anything else. So that's about what I need to see to jump in. Waited patiently, and I'm in. CVD dropping off. I love to continue to see that. We were rising all the way up here. We got nice drop off in cumulative volume delta. Love to see that. So to the upside, again, because I'm going to end this session with this one running. To the upside, we go and rip through the 65.05s, and we turn this into a nice bullish day. You know that I'm out. You know that I'm out for an L. Okay. We start to sell off back down through VWAP. I'm going to be interested in looking at the 480s, right? I want to see what happens as we come down here. Remember, I'm discretionary with where I actually take profit, right? That's where I apply most discretion. I'm not moving this, right? We're not going stop loss to break even really quickly. We're not dragging it down or up or doing anything crazy. This is pretty much just let it rock, right? We start to come up here. I don't do anything. As we start to potentially move in the direction of my trade, right? I'm going to look for an area to take profit based on market-generated information as it forms. That's where I allow myself to apply some discretion. I find that works well for me. So if we start to come down lower, what am I looking for? I'm probably going to hang on to this one, guys. I'm probably going to hang on to this one. I think a level that we could run into some issue, right? Like a sweep down here, test VWAP, stop run type of deal before continuing to the upside, that could be dicey. So holding all the way back through VWAP to the downside, could get a little bit dicey here. I foresee, if we get back down here, I foresee myself holding this one back down towards overnight low. I don't know that I hold all the way down there. I think the 75s would be a pretty interesting area back down around the low end of this consolidation for pre-market, mid to high 70s for a potential take profit. That's what I'd be looking at. So I think maybe we come down here, we start to chop again. So that's my play. That's my play to the downside. Somewhere down into this area, I'd be looking for some take profit. Again, we start to sell off. Sorry, I'm just dragging that out so you see where it is. We start to sell off really, really aggressively. I may try to hang on to it. Just depends on what it looks like, right? That's where the discretion comes in. The subjective interpretation of price action. We just pump. I'm on the wrong side of the market, and I take an L on the chin. That's it. If we started to immediately sell off, like really aggressively up here after maybe we're filling these orders right now, to the downside, what could be a potential target even lower? All the way back down to like the 450s. All the way back down to the 450s. That'd be a big move, though. It'd be really a crazy erasing of what's going on. And I think, what's more likely to happen, we find some buyers in here into the 80s to 70s if we come down. So that's my thought process, guys. Now that we got the trade on, I'm going to end the session. I'm not going to hang out here for another 4 hours to let this one play out. You guys will know because, like I said, I'll call it out in Discord. I'll try to keep you guys updated. If you're not in Discord, I'll throw that in here again. Hop in the 100% free trading Discord. More than happy to have you guys on here. If you're not, there it is. Not a VIP feeder program, no course, no nothing. I do everything free 99. Happy to have you on. If you want to check out Top 1 Futures, like we started to talk about. Boom. Actually, let me show you another one of these. There we go. Boom. Top 1 Futures. Giveaway. 40 25K instant funded accounts. Every purchase equals 1 entry to win plus 50% off using code RDF. Current deal for everybody right now is 45. Code RDF gets you 50% off. Some other codes out there with 50%, but my code gets you 50% off and it gives you good luck. Not really. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop from accounts. And the affiliate partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures right here. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. Remember, guys, trading's risky. Almost all traders lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Make your own decisions about prop firms, about software, about everything. I'm going to wrap it up right here, guys. Trade running. We'll see what we get. See if we can't catch a W on this one. Can't catch a cliff. Talk to you guys soon. Talk to you guys in Discord. Thanks for hopping on live the rest of the week, 9:30 a.m. Eastern right here. Next week, I'm off the desk. I am gone, running around, traveling the world, and no live sessions at all next week. Limited responses in Discord. But I cooked up a whole bunch of YouTube videos to drop for you guys so you got something to watch if you want to see my ugly face while I'm off the desk. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. And we will go from there. Just reading the chat. Yeah, you guys are just chatting up. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks again.